I'm Mehlinda, Seeley. I'm the artistic director of the Historical Performance Ensemble, and we're here today to do a presentation at Baroque Dance and Music. These are our two wonderful musicians, Edgar, Bridwell, and Duranceau, and you're going to see the two choreographies. So our society is dedicated to, excuse me, to working as authentically as we can. So in terms of costumes, in terms of the kinds of musicians we use don't use a jazz musician to play Baroque music, so we don't use a ballet dancer to dance Baroque dance. It takes quite a long time to train in Baroque dance. Even though people who are in the dance field think it's like nothing, it's very exacting form, and it's an exact exemplification of what was great interest in the 17th century, which was exploration, the development of the scientific method, and of detail, such as looking at the stars or looking at a microscope. And both things were invented in this period. So most of you will understand the nature of ballet. So I thought I would tell you a few of the differences between ballet and historical dance, specifically the Baroque. Because the Baroque, it's different from the Renaissance, and it's different from the 19th century, right? And then you get full-blown late 19th century, early 20th century ballet. So the floor patterns in Baroque dance are based on the fountains and pathways in the parks at Fontainebleau and Versailles. There's a democratic mirroring. You're not going to see a partner dance today, unfortunately, but the idea in the partner dances is that the man and the woman do exactly the same thing on the opposite feet. And nobody lifts anybody. Nobody has to fall into their arms. Nobody has to be a support system of any sort. You are an independent dancer. And on that basis alone, I just think it's a brilliant dance form. We've got very small, precise steps that have... Sorry, that's me. I'll turn that off when I'm going to sit down. What was I doing? Small steps. Because they used spaces which were between 12 and 15 feet wide by 16 to 20 feet long for performing in. It was not meant to be performed on a big, what became the 19th century operatic stages. You don't touch your partner's hand almost at all. The heel of the shoe is lifted about an inch off the floor. So it's what nowadays would be recognized by ballet dancers as quarter point, not even half point. We go in the Baroque from under to up, and this is the most characteristic movement. So at the beginning of every phrase, you're going to go and 1, 2, 3, and a 1, or 1 and 2, right? Consequently, in Baroque music, you should be playing strong ones, because that's the part that's the most important. And then when it deviates, it's magnificent. You get these 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 in the sarabande, right? Yeah. So, let's see. We also started to have the use of arms for the first time. In the Renaissance, your arms are here, just avoiding your skirt if you're a lady, maybe sitting on your hip, or your sword if you're a man, but you're not doing any gestures. In this period, the gesture starts, right? So I'm going to bagarre with the arm gesture, yeah? And a lot of people argue about where this came from. There's three main arguments. One is, it's what the dancing master who had a little tiny pochette that he taught with, he didn't have a CD player, so he pulled out his little pochette from his inner jacket pocket, set it on his shoulder, and played, and it ended up being a shape like this. So that's one. The second is that it's based on flamenco arms, which of course come from India originally. And the third is my own personal opinion, which is because it was an era of exploration, the arm gestures were the European interpretation of the Balinese, Thai, Chinese, etc. arm gestures that were used in the courtly dances there. Brought back, and of course, kind of, as usual, slightly badly interpreted. So in the courts and theaters, the audience was as well informed as the dancers themselves. So you had to dance beautifully. And if you danced in the court for the king, he literally could kick you out if you didn't do the dance well enough. So you were madly rehearsing, minimum 4 hours a day, sometimes 5, sometimes 6 hours a day, learning how to dance, how to use the arms, how to be gracious, how to use all the right etiquette. And Louis invented lots of rules about etiquette just to confuse everybody. So what they enjoyed was this change of verticality, right? Whenever the steps are changing, you get that vertical thing, which nowadays we don't watch for that. What we're looking for is, oh, look at how big they are around the space, and they're doing huge, enormous leaps and falls to the ground and so on. In this case, it's all on like a microscopic level, right? And yeah, so the choreographies were disseminated around Europe, and I have a few examples of notations here, so if you just pass those around. I've got 10 copies. I wasn't sure how many people were coming. Okay. A couple copies.
Thank you.
Oh, I've got enough for everybody.
Oh, actually, very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So you'll see examples there. There's 2 different examples. Oh, I've got lots, as it turns out. And so you can see that it's quite complicated. And it's an art in itself and a study in itself, which is part of the reason why it takes a long time to learn Baroque dance. But we have about 1,000 choreographies that were notated in the period. The style of choreography was developed by Beauchamp, who was Louis XIV's dance master, and he unfortunately died in penury because his student, Fouillet, usurped his knowledge. You know, it's like something out of a movie mogul world, right? So we really are in great debt to Beauchamp for developing this really ingenious system, because there's a lot of information that you can get about the dance. I'll be back halfway through our little program and talk to you about tempi. Sorry, that was the end of that piece. So now I have to turn this off and then turn it on again. All right. So what I wanted to talk to you about very briefly is the idea of tempi in music. So on the back of that page of notations that I gave you is a little printout from the book that was written by Wendy Hilton about Baroque dance. And she talks about the tempi. Now, the best thing that I think she says on that page is the little chart at the bottom, which is too slow, impossible, all the way up to too fast, impossible. Because it's all these forms are based on the human body. I happen to be a person who is a slow mover. I just love this. Right? So I like all those dances like the sarabande and the couron that are very, very slow dances. Even if the music is running along like the couron underneath, the dancer is moving slowly. So use your own bodies to determine how fast to do the pieces. So if the tempo is like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, you can't walk that fast. You probably can't dance that fast. And I've heard a lot of pieces of dance music that are played so fast. Nobody, even my tiniest dancer who's about this tall, and she can move like the nothing, whatever the expression is, she can move like the get-go. She can't dance that fast. So it's a matter of finding a feeling both for the dancer's body, or your body as a mover, and your sense of the musicality, the phrasing. What makes sense, So what the next dance you're going to see after they play another little short piece is we've been playing with the tempo, and we play at 1:15. Just feels a little slow for the dancer. We tried it at 1:25, a little fast for the dancer. So we settled on 1:20. And that's the tempo that we are going to see the dance at today. Okay? So use your own discretion, but believe that it is possible to play it too fast. In your attempt to be virtuosic, you get carried away. So enjoy the music and dance as much as you can to it. Thank you. What you saw was a bourrée first, and then a minuet. One of the most famous dancers from the 17th century.